Hello, my name is Dawn from Infinite You Life Coaching, and welcome to today's short practice. So today we'll be doing a warrior flow. When I made this flow, I was very much intending it to work that psoas area, but it's good for a lot of things. So let's go ahead and get started. You can be standing at the top of your mat. I'm just going to be facing you so that you can better see me to start. And let's just go ahead and get grounded, allowing your feet, maybe rocking them back and forth. Just coming in contact with those tripod points of your feet, the base of your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. And then just take awareness up your body, just noticing what you notice, maybe making some subtle adjustments, moving your heels in and out ever so slightly. And then bring your palms to face forward. Spine is extended, shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And just notice your breath here for a moment. Arrive on your mat. Taking a few slow, easy, and gentle breaths. And maybe setting an intention for your practice today. If you are having any hip or lower back discomfort, maybe just setting the intention that this practice will be gentle, that we'll listen to our bodies, and that it will bring us benefit. And when you're ready, we're just going to slightly widen our feet so that they're hip width apart. So if you find your hip bones, your feet should be relatively close to that area. And from there, we're just going to begin swinging our arms side to side. And you can take this as quickly or as slow as feels right for you. And begin, if you haven't already, connecting your breath. Maybe an inhale in one direction and an exhale in the other. Maybe an inhale lasts both directions and an exhale lasts both directions. And you can start taking your gaze a little further behind you as you do this as well. And hips are just kind of facing the front of the mat. And as we do this, begin to notice that freeing sensation in your arms, but also that we're twisting and extending the core muscles. And when you're ready, just slowly start bringing your arms to a stop. And when your arms do come to a stop, we're going to go ahead and take our hands to our hips and then just begin to do some hip circles. If you want to step your feet a little wider here, you can do that if you would like. And you can start small, but start to widen your hip circles, really maximizing your hips here and how far they can go. Maybe even coming up onto the inside and the outsides of your feet and your heels, just experimenting a little bit. We'll take it in the other direction. Continuing to breathe throughout. Remember, start slow in this other direction. Working our muscles just a little differently, so we want to give them the same warm-up that we gave the first side. Again, starting to push to the outside diameter that your hips can reach. Maybe starting to come off of your feet. And then we'll come to a stop. And we're just going to inhale our hands up, grasping your left wrist with your right hand. And then we'll take an inhale and exhale as we move to the right side. Maybe taking your gaze up, opening that shoulder just a little bit. If this is feeling pretty good, we could let go with the right hand and allow our right hand come to our thigh and just move a little deeper. Inhale back to center. Now grasping the left wrist with the right hand. The right wrist with the left hand, and moving to, mic troubles, moving to the left side. Continuing to breathe if it feels comfortable. You can take your gaze up to the sky, maybe taking your left hand to your thigh and moving a little further down. Inhaling back up to center. And then we'll put our hands down just for a moment. If you were not at the top of your mat, you could come to the top of your mat now. We'll inhale our hands up. Exhale, coming into a forward fold. Maybe walk your knees out here for a moment. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, and we're going to step the left foot back and dropping the left knee to the floor. You can untuck that back foot. And we want to keep our right leg, we're going to bring our body up, keep our right leg at a 90 degree. So kind of a short stance here for a lunge. And with your hands on your hips, maybe even bringing your hips back a little bit, so trying to create a line here. We're just going to take our gaze down to the floor, maybe even curving. So think about bringing your ribs and your hips together, or your ribs and your pelvic bone together. And just experiment with this a little bit. Just noticing what sensations are coming up from your knee all the way up to your mid-spine on that left side. And from here, we're just going to take our hands back down to the floor, tuck the toes, and we're going to bring the back foot to with the heel, with your foot open. And we're just going to come into that warrior two. So as you come up, inhaling your arms to a T. And in each pose here, we're going to breathe 5 times. So as you're breathing, extending your fingertips away from you. Thinking about bringing your hips in position to zip up your pants. Bringing that back hand so that your shoulder blade wraps around your ribs. Maybe even tucking your chin a little bit here. You should be able to see your big toe. On your next inhale, we'll flip the front hand and come into a reverse warrior. Same thing, continuing to breathe. Your legs are strong here. Your front big toe pushing into the mat. Outer edge and big toe of your back foot pushing into the mat. Maybe reaching back a little further. We'll take an inhale together. Exhale, bringing your front elbow to your front knee. And inhale the arm up and over your head. So again, continuing to breathe. Think about your side body reaching up to the sky. The outer edge of your back foot really grounded into the mat. Your whole front foot is grounded. You can experiment with the sensation of bringing your legs together. And check those obliques again. On your next inhale, we're going to inhale back up through a warrior two, straighten the front leg into a reverse triangle. Really reach that top fingertip up and away from you. Feet are grounded. Core is strong. Just breathe. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let's inhale our hands out to a warrior two position. And then extending your right fingertips forward, your hips back as you lower down into a triangle. Lots of ways you can take your triangle. You could do peace fingers around your toe. You could use your hand as a brace. What you don't want is your body coming forward. So if you're here, you want to prop that arm a little bit higher, keeping a micro bend in that front knee. top arm reaching for the sky. Again, your obliques are really strong, pushing into the outer edge of that back foot. Breathing into that side body. Checking that top shoulder that it's not coming forward. One more breath here. And on your exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to the floor, bending that front knee. Just walk your hands a little further in front of you. And from here, we're just going to come into a half moon pose. So if you would like, you can keep both hands on the floor here, but you could also peel that left hand up to the sky. Your gaze can remain on the floor. The back foot that's up, your toes are pointing to the side of your mat. If you want to challenge your balance here, you could take your gaze up to those top fingertips. And you can always have a slight bend in that front knee. And I find that helps us prevent ourselves from just dumping all the weight into the hinge, into the joints, making the muscles work. Allowing that top arm to come down. And just bring your toes to the floor for a moment as you reset. And we're just going to come into a warrior 3. You could stay here with your fingertips on the mat. If you'd like to bring your fingertips off the mat, you can do that as well. If you struggle with balance like I do, just come back in if you fall out. Finding the right drishti is usually what helps me. Take 2 more breaths here. And bring your hands down to your mat. We're just going to allow the 2 feet to come together. So slowly and with control, bring that back foot down to the mat. I'm going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go ahead and bend our knees. And we're just going to roll back up. Inhale, our hands up. Exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Allowing your head to be heavy here for a moment. Maybe pedaling out your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, stepping your right foot back. Coming into that short lunge as we come up. We're going to inhale our hands up. Exhale, bring our hands down to our hips, untucking the back toe if you haven't already. And again, exploring what you feel here. So I'm putting some pressure into that left front foot and bringing my pelvis and my ribs closer together. Then allowing my chin to move towards my chest. I can experiment with shortening how far that front foot is away. I tend to have a lot more sensation on one side than the other, and they're in completely different places. Continue to breathe. And when you're ready, walking your hands or placing your hands in with your foot in the center. We're going to tuck the back toe. And we're going to allow the heel to spin in as we come into our warrior 2. So again here, nice tall spine. Fingertips reaching away from each other. Thinking about that back arm, moving backwards so that the shoulder blade wraps around the ribs. Extending the fingertips away. Think about zipping in your pants. You should be able to see your front big toe. Thinking about your feet grounding down into the mat, especially the back edge of that back foot. Your front big toe. And let's inhale as we flip our palm and come into a reverse warrior. Extending those top fingertips up and away from you. An open heart here. Legs are strong. Just breathe. We'll take an inhale together. Exhale as we bring the front elbow to the front knee. Inhale as you bring the top arm up and over to be just above your ear. Think about your obliques, your side body reaching up to the sky. Back edge and heel of your back foot really grounded. Both big toes are grounded. Legs are strong. Core is strong. On your next inhale, we're going to inhale that top arm up, coming back with our arms in that warrior two. And then from there, we'll continue to flip our palm and come into that reverse triangle. So straightening the front leg. Top fingertips reaching up and away from you. Just breathe. Feeling your feet being grounded, legs are strong, core is strong. And then on your next inhale, we'll inhale our arms back to a T, reaching the front arm forward and your hips back. And again, coming into your choice of what you want that triangle pose to look like. Doing a check to see that that top shoulder is not coming out in front of you. So wherever your left hand needs to be to support your torso so that shoulder can be aligned with the bottom shoulder. Grounding through both feet. Side body reaching up towards the sky, maybe tucking your chin just a bit. Pushing into the outer edge of that back foot. Breathe. On your next inhale, we'll bring the top arm down, bending the front knee, walking the front hands up a little bit as we bring up the back foot so we can enter into our half moon pose. So find that drishti point where you can focus your vision. Just breathe. Your knees can be at the floor, or if you want to challenge your balance, you can go up to those top fingertips. 2 more breaths here. On your next exhale, allow that top arm to float down. Just bring the toes down for a moment as you get proper alignment. And we're going to bring that back foot back up, this time toes pointing down for our warrior three. And you can stay here with your fingertips on the mat. Or you can come up into a variation, whatever feels good for you. So hands in prayer, hands at your side, hands out in front of you, and coming into your balance position. Two more breaths here. And allowing your fingertips to come down. We're just going to come back, gently bring that foot down into our forward fold. We'll do an inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to plant the hands and we're going to step back into our downward facing dog. Again, maybe walking your dog here. And when you're ready, finding some stillness, and we'll take a few breaths. So fingertips should be wide, facing forward. Knees can be bent here, so think about we're working with the back, not the legs necessarily. So bending your knees so that you can get a nice straight back position. Pushing into the base of your fingers, especially your index finger. Your armpits are rotating in towards each other. Your shoulder blades are gliding up over your ribs towards your hands. And heels energetically moving towards the floor as your tailbone is energetically moving up towards the sky. 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, we're just going to bend our knees, and we're going to end our practice in a child's pose. So we're just going to take our hands, bring them out in front of us, and resting your head on the mat here, just walk your fingertips as far as they can go, while also allowing your body to settle. And treating this child's pose as our shavasana, allowing your body to come to stillness. You can let your forearms relax. And just notice what you notice in your body. Notice the energy we've created. How your feet feel, how your hands feel, how your back and legs feel. Just taking it all in. Noticing your legs touching the mat, your hands and your arms touching the mat. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And when you're ready, begin walking your hands back towards your body, pushing into your palms. We'll just take 1 inhale with hands up to the sky, palms touch. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Maybe bowing down to your heart, feeling your heartbeat. Thank you for showing up today. Namaste.